Writing a daily gratitude list is the one habit I can point to which has changed my mindset and changed my life the most. The effects are cumulative, they build up over time, but the return on investment is immense. If you take just 2 minutes every day to write a gratitude list and you write that list for the next couple of months, I promise you, you will see massive results. Your mindset will completely shift. You will change your perspective, regain your sense of self, and find more peace in the little moments than you currently do. Obviously, it's not going to solve all your problems, but there is something magical about the cumulative effect of gratitude. I wanted to make this video talking about the domino effect of gratitude journaling because it's something I've been doing for the past year and a half. I have noticed it's made a really big difference in my mindset, even in the way I behave, in just my ability to appreciate things and just to deal with difficult situations. You wouldn't necessarily think that gratitude would be helpful to help you deal with a stressful situation or an unexpected situation, unexpected thing happening. I do think that having that foundation of gratitude and having gratitude underpin everything has really helped me deal with those stressful situations or those unexpected things. You might expect, oh, if I'm going to be doing my gratitude list, that means that every day I'm going to find things to be grateful for and it's going to bring me a sense of peace. And yes, but the most unexpected one for me has been change in behaviour. Doing a gratitude list will change your behaviour. You will notice you react differently to things and it won't be obvious at first. I think it's like a lot of the things we're going to talk about on this list. It's a cumulative effect, it's a domino effect. It's not going to be you do a gratitude list today and tomorrow you're transformed. Like, it's going to be something that if you do it for a few weeks or a few months, it's really going to make a difference, and it will only be obvious when something unexpected happens and you will see, oh, I reacted actually really well to this, as opposed to getting really stressed out. So even just doing a gratitude list for 2 minutes every day, if you really just focus on it and take the time to do that, create that discipline or that habit around it and go, no, I'm doing this every day, I'm being deliberate about it, intentional, that is what's going to make a big difference, even if it doesn't feel like it as you're doing it, even if you feel slightly resentful or you start to forget why you started writing your gratitude list, it's still going to have an impact. For example, one thing that happened that I reacted differently to, and that kind of afterwards I was stunned by how I reacted, and I do attribute that difference in reaction to gratitude journaling in particular, but just journaling in general and being more self-aware and trying to spot patterns in the way I react to things, in my coping mechanisms, good or bad. The situation I'm thinking of was I was on a walk and my dog disappeared. And I knew she couldn't have gone on the road because it was a closed-in park, so I knew she was there. And instead of getting stressed, and even at the time I think there was a part of me that was looking on and being like, wow, you're handling this really well. Like, I was just very calm. I wasn't stressing out. I wasn't panicking. I wasn't like phoning anyone. I wasn't calling to anyone being like, oh my gosh, have you seen my dog? I was just like, it's okay. She will come back. She's probably run off into a bush somewhere, but I know she'll come back. Eventually, there she was, she came back, and I was like, oh, great. At the time, as I said, I could notice I'm reacting to this in a very level-headed kind of way. Because if you'd have explained that situation to me before, I probably would have been panicking. It's like an understandable thing to get panicked about, to be like, where is my dog? But the difference in my reaction, I really do put down to this daily practice of gratitude journaling. It's laying this foundation underneath your life, building all of your behaviour, all of your reactions. Everything you're doing basically is starting from that place of gratitude. So that means that in a stressful situation, like I lost my dog, or in just something that unexpected that you don't know how to deal with, someone calls you out of the blue, or there's something that demands your attention which you hadn't attributed time to, and now you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to try and fit this in around everything else. Being grateful, having your daily gratitude list means that when a stressful situation happens, you're able to step back and assess what the right thing to do is instead of panicking, because you're always able to draw on that gratitude that you have. It becomes instinctive, whereas at the beginning you may be doing your list every day and it's something maybe you have to set a reminder for yourself to do, or you have to build it into part of your routine because otherwise it's just not going to happen. Being deliberate there about forming this habit and being grateful, but the more you do that, the more you cement it as a habit, the easier it's going to be to, as I say, draw on that gratitude, and it's just going to become something automatic that you're able to do, and you're going to be able to take any situation that happens then, and instead of getting really sad or angry, frustrated that this didn't work out or this thing didn't happen in the way that you thought it was going to, you're always going to be able to act automatically from gratitude. So I wanted to start by talking about how gratitude lists, doing your daily gratitude list, even if it's just like a 2-minute list, how it will change your behaviour and the domino effect that that will have on your life, because that to me is one of the biggest things I've noticed, and it's also one of the most unexpected. Some of the other things that we're going to talk about on this list, you might be like, well, yeah, I would expect that from writing a gratitude list, but I wanted to talk about this behavioural change because it was not something I expected to come from gratitude journaling at all, and I'm pretty confident that this is where it has come from, that I have been able to change the way I react to things and be more level-headed in stressful situations from doing this daily gratitude practice. Doing a daily gratitude list will remind you of how lucky you are and the things that you have. There is so much that I think we can take for granted if a lot of the people around us have similar things. So whatever you're watching this video on, whether you're watching on your phone, your laptop, tablet, iPad, it's easy to take those things for granted because a lot of the people around us also have those things. I mean, a phone, that seems like a necessity, and when people say they're gonna get rid of their smartphone and switch back to just having a phone that's like does text and calls and no WhatsApp, no apps, no anything, we treat that kind of like a novelty. But I think doing a gratitude list, it will make you look at those things, for example, like your phone, like your laptop, your Kindle. It will make you look at those things and acknowledge them and be grateful for them, because they're things that not everyone has. Similarly, where you live, your house or your flat, your bed, like your comfy blankets, your pillows, whatever you had for lunch or dinner. Being grateful for these things, putting them on your gratitude list, will remind you how lucky you are. And linked to that is that writing those things on your gratitude list will see that even if you've had a rubbish day, you still have quite a lot to be grateful for. And that's not to minimise your bad day or to say that you have all these things, so why aren't you happy? That's not the idea at all. It's just to remind yourself that there are some good things. And it's not like you have to make your gratitude list like pages and pages long because you've got to include every single thing. Like, oh, I've got to be grateful every day for my bed and running water on my phone or my laptop. Yes, be grateful for those things. But like, they don't have to go on your gratitude list every day unless you're feeling particularly grateful for them in that moment, if this makes sense. So on bad days, yes, my gratitude list will look like I'm grateful for my lunch, I'm grateful for my bed, I'm grateful that I live in a cool house because it's hot outside and it's nice that the house is cool. It will be the basic things like that when I'm having a bad day, because I won't be able to say, oh, I'm so grateful for the sunshine, or I'm grateful for a lovely walk, I'm grateful that I called this person, because I'm like, no, I've had a rubbish day, I've not really done anything. I don't have anything to be grateful for in terms of those things, but I do always have these fundamental things to be grateful for. And being able to see the good things on a bad day has helped me. It's not gonna fix everything because sometimes you're not gonna want to be better, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes you're in a bad mood or in a bad state and you want to stew about it, but at least when I'm doing a gratitude list, it's then a choice to not do it. So I'm then telling myself something through not doing the gratitude list. Once it becomes something automatic that you do every day, whether you want to do it on the notes app on your phone, you're going to get a little notebook that you're going to write your gratitude list in. You're going to just spend a couple minutes on your commute or whatever and think through things that you're grateful for and make a mental list of it, whatever way you're going to do. If you've then cemented that as a habit, and then there comes a point where you're having a bad day and you're saying, no, actually, I'm not going to do that today. It then has to be a conscious choice, a deliberate choice to not do your gratitude list, and that's going to tell you something about your state of mind. So it's a helpful tool in that way as well, because on a bad day, that's one way it can go. I can be like, well, I'm just not going to do it today then, and kind of have that kind of attitude about it. But the other side of that is, on a bad day, I can still be like, oh, I'm going to write this gratitude list, and even if everything's been rubbish, I will have a few things, even if it's only like 3 things that you can think of that you really do feel grateful for on a rubbish day. That's still gonna help you, because it's gonna bring some perspective into that dark cloud and that bad day that you're in. It's gonna like give you a few things to hold on to. So for me, sobriety is something that always goes on the list, and sometimes it goes on the list automatically, like I'm just writing and it comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, I'm grateful for that. And other days, that is like the main thing I'm grateful for. And I really mean it when I write it in my gratitude journal. It's just a really helpful tool if you want to keep an eye on your mental health. I think gratitude journaling or doing a gratitude list is also great because it will bring you into the present moment, because you need to be aware of the things that are happening so that you can then put them on your gratitude list. So you're going to notice small moments that would otherwise go unnoticed, otherwise pass you by, whether it's the way that the sun shines through the clouds when you're walking to the station. Something I noticed on a walk yesterday evening was this like musty autumn smell. Like the air was really crisp. It wasn't cold, but it's like heading towards that way because we're mid-September. But it was this kind of like, I don't want to say mouldy because that makes it sound horrible, but do you know what I mean? That like autumnal, I kind of associate it with apples, like not rotting apples, but we've got an apple tree. So it's something small, like a small detail like that, which I was able to notice and then feel grateful for in the moment. It's kind of like noticing these little things that would be almost cinematic. Like if you were watching a film, these would be moments that the director would choose to integrate into the story somehow, whether it's like the way that the sun is going down behind this hill and like the silhouettes of these really tall cedar trees are standing out against this orangey pink sky, or against this lilac fading into blue, fading into orange sky, or something like the way that the wind is blowing through the trees as you're going for a walk and you can hear it and you can feel it. Immersive, cinematic moment. Doing a gratitude list where you're able to express these things and be like, oh my gosh, there was this moment on the walk, or I said hi to this person and we had a nice conversation, or it was really nice to be out in the sun. Whatever you're going to put on your list, writing that list means that throughout the day, because I do my gratitude list at the end of the day, it means that you're having to pay attention during the day so that you have really specific things to be grateful for. Because yes, you can always be like, I'm grateful for my bed, I'm grateful for my home, but if you're having a good day, like we talked about, there will be more details to pick out than just those things which, yes, we take for granted. It will just make you be more present, not rush through things so much. You'll be able to pick out moments to be grateful for. Small things, the little things. Noticing the little things is going to be a big part of what gratitude will bring you, alongside the mindset shifts and the behavioural benefits, I guess, that we talked about. You're just gonna gain an appreciation for little details, and I found that your day really can turn on those little moments. So I've not been feeling great recently. I talked about this walk I went on yesterday and it smelled like autumn and the air was cool and the way the sun was going down and I could see the cedar trees silhouetted against the skyline. That walk, even though it's such a small thing, I was out for probably like 15 minutes. It didn't turn my day around because it was the end of the day, so there wasn't a lot of time left to turn it around. But it reminded me of something really fundamental that I think I'd been missing, and it gave me a lot to be grateful for. And it's not just about, oh, I'm gonna put this on my gratitude list, this is something to be grateful for. It's about like how you feel, and this feeling that doing this gratitude list, having gratitude as a daily practice, this feeling that it's going to bring you of peace and presence. I would really urge you to start a gratitude list. Like I say, it can be 2 minutes. You can take 2 minutes to do this. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to overthink it. Just write down what comes to mind instantly and just be consistent with it. And I know that's an easy thing to say, but again, it's 2 minutes. If you don't feel like writing it down, do this in your head and just make sure, maybe put on a particular song and be like, when I put on this song, I'm going to do my gratitude list. And it will have this big domino effect, this big knock-on effect on your mindset, on your behaviour, on the way that you approach things. I notice it even in the way that I like talk to people. When you spend time as well with other people who are also grateful and have that practice of gratitude, that's going to make a big difference as well. So if you can try and find those people, that's like a side point. I could do a whole other video about that and the way that this will help your relationships. Domino effect of gratitude. I've definitely felt it in my life over the past year and a half. It's such a small thing. Like I say, you don't have to take a long time doing this at all. The point is to engage with it and do this every day. And yeah, 2 minutes. And if you do that every day, it is going to have a huge impact on you, and like you won't believe it. It's kind of unbelievable. You're like, how is me just doing this 2 minutes every day gonna help? But like the same thing with brushing your teeth, right? If you look after your teeth, you brush your teeth in the morning, in the evening, maybe you floss, hopefully you floss as well. That's a small thing. But if you didn't do that every day for months, you would have big problems with your teeth. And think of gratitude the same way. It's just a small thing. Gratitude will have a huge impact on your life. I've got a whole journaling playlist because I've talked about journaling a lot because I love it so much, so I'll link that for you if you want to check it out. I will also leave in my video How to Romanticize Your Life. I read that recently and I'm really proud of that video. And I think I'll leave as well 10 reasons why you need to start journaling. I'm just really passionate about this topic, so I hope you give it a go. Please let me know how you get on in the comments. God bless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.